What's up, guys? I'm Twitch with Save One More Life. Let's talk about burns and burn dressings. Many people think about burns in their emergency kits and in their medical response kits, but I don't think we give enough thought to types of burn dressings because they come in a variety of packaging types, a variety of sizes, and there's a lot of different brands out there, and I don't think most people ever open these packages. So for you today, we're going to do that so that you don't have to. That'll give you an idea of what to expect when you open one and what the layout of the material is. I'd also like to preface this by saying that I recently got a burn from shooting with some friends of mine, grabbed a hot surface, and it scorched my hand, gave a second-degree burn, bubbled up. I used this in conjunction with just standard Band-Aids because the exact area that was affected and the size of the burn and how bad the burn was, all of those factors played into what item I chose, even though I had plenty of cool options to use. So I chose a gel with a Band-Aid. The gels also work well because I can apply that gel to a very large area or a very small area. If it's a much larger area, then feel free to use like plastic wrap or plastic sheeting to cover over that area in place of something like this. So let's start with the big boy. BurnTech. They're a pretty reputable name when it comes to burn dressings. So it's significantly larger than you would give credit to, even with that large packaging. So it's folded up as this. Now we've got another package to get through, right? It's trying to preserve the fluid that is on the packaged item. So we now have another dilemma. So we have an additional package to get through. We've got a tear tab down here. Let's see if it'll work for us. It does. Now we can get our actual burn dressing out. It's not just wanting to come. There it is. We should have a jelly kind of substance on here. Let's see what we got. Additional wrapping. And we are finally to the actual dressing itself. It's a fairly dense substance. This could easily cover the vast majority of my arm. That's a fairly large surface area. It also has a gauze tab on here. And I would think that is so you can pull and replace this as needed. It's almost got handles going with it. Feels a little bit like cheesecloth. From there, let's go a size down to the burn shield. Tear tab works. Ooh, this one is an entirely different idea. Inside, this is like a jelly almost. Much harder to hold on to. This is absolutely going to be meant to be in conjunction with a gauze pad or a trauma bandage. Whereas the BurnTech, this item feels fairly standalone. It's got like a rigid backer. This I could easily lose grip on and just drop in some nastiness. But it definitely has a lot of soakage from the actual dressing that they're wanting you to use, from the burn gel rather. And that's all they've done, guys. They've taken a cloth or some sort of absorbent material and they have put some sort of burn gel like I've applied to my own hand on it. Next up, water gel. Oh yeah, this one's dripping. Kind of a hybrid between the two that we've now gone through. So this is definitely easier to hold than the last one. This one over here, very difficult. The burn shield's very difficult to hang on to. Under high stress, I don't think I would be able to retain it. This one feels like an over-soaked wipe. It even has some perforations in the material that remind me of baby wipes. So I actually like this, and it folds out to be a fairly good length. Look at that. Similar to the BurnTech, I could cover the majority of my arm with this, and it is very saturated. I'll give it that. Pretty good. Now, last up, we're going to do the smaller BurnTech just to see what kind of area of coverage and what kind of difference would we see. Okay, so my package is already partially open here. Lots of plastic to get through. I don't love that. But I guess this is not really a time-consuming thing or a time-constrained thing because I'm just trying to get a burn figured out. This is not something that's going to kill you in 2 minutes as compared to arterial bleeding. much smaller area coverage on this. This would give a comparison to my hand. This would cover maybe the back side of my hand, not nearly as large as its big brother. Give you a visual. Oh yeah, look at the difference in that. You're talking about 3 times the coverage for this. So I've mentioned that it has a rigid backer on the BurnTech items. Here's what you can also do though. The backer is not designed to stay on. So once you get your wound ready to go, this is what you end up with. You end up with a flexible item that you can place over top whatever area you have. And once you place it on there, you could even take your gel surface, if it's larger than this is, and smear it over a surface area. It might look something like this. Got the palm, or the rather backside of my hand here. Take that, smear it over top, get some of that burn gel where it needs to be. And once you do that, then you could actually take an additional bandage and wrap it over top. But this is designed to be a standalone self-application type of item. And that's where we're going next. Which would I recommend for self-application? I personally like the BurnTech. I think this is a more manageable size. I think if we got much larger, it's then hard to carry. And again, for self-application, I'm talking, what am I putting in my trauma kit? Well, it has to be something that can fit in my trauma kit. I think this is gonna cover the most bases. I think it's the easiest to use. Downsides is I had like 3 different layers of plastic wrapping to get through before I actually got to the item. But I don't have to worry about it getting dirty without me wanting it to. I also liked the water gel because it came out in a almost just gauze pad that's longer. It feels rigid enough to hold up. It's not so slick that I can't hold on to it. And I personally think this could be cut to size and used in more of a variety of ways if need be. And then finally, honestly, I think the most applicable one for your daily life is just something like this, because I don't have to have it as a one-time use. If I open this, put a little bit on a sunburn, or maybe you got burned in the kitchen, or even something more severe, I can apply however much I need and then put whatever bandage item I want based on the size of the injury. That's what I recommend. Have something like this. It's good to have standalone, professional grade, almost military grade options, but this for everyday life makes sense for me. To fight back against death and help save lives, go save one bullet without life.